Okay, first grade, so we are going to continue in this video to go over how to make 10 to subtract. All right, so our problem that I'm going to show you first is 14 minus 6. All right, I'm actually going to go ahead and start out with 6 of my counters. So I'm going to go ahead and draw 6 of my counters. All right, let me go ahead and put 6 of them in. Three, 4, 5, and 6. All right, so 6 of my counters here. Let's look at this. How many counters again are in my 10 frame? I want you to take a second and think about that. How many counters are in my 10 frame so far? Yes, there are 6 of them. Now I want to think, how many more counters do I need to put here to make my 10? All right, I want you to go ahead and think about that. How many more counters? So, and how would I do that too? All right, so I could go ahead and count up or count on. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put some yellow counters here. And I want you to think, how many yellow counters here do I have? Let me go ahead and put them. Oops. Count them 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so I know that I have 6 red counters and 4 yellow, and all together that makes my 10. All righty, so figuring this out, I know that I have my 6 red. All right, and how many am I adding to get my 10? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm adding 4 of them. 4 yellow counters to get my 10 right here. All right. All right, now looking at this, I know that I'm at 10 now. All right, I need to get to 14. So I'm going to go 10. I'm going to add some more yellow counters. 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. So I had my 10 here. So I'm going to look at that, and I know that my 10 plus my 4 equals my 14. All right. All righty. So I had my 10. So I need to figure out how many of my yellow counters I added on in my next 10 frame to get to my 14. So looking at that, how many counters? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 counters. I added 4 of them to get to 14. So now I want to go ahead and look at this, and I want to think to myself, how could I find out how many counters were added to 6 to make 14? All right, and an easy way that we did that is we separated into 2 colors. I had my 6 that were red, and I had how many that were yellow? Let's count. So I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, I had my 8 counters that I added on to my 6 to get to 14. Or I can look at it on how many I have in my first 10 frame, which looking at this, I had 4 in my first 10 frame. All right. And then let me bring this down here. I had 4 on my first 10 frame. Plus I had 4 on my bottom, which would equal 8. Again, I had 4 on the top and 4 on the bottom, the 4 yellow and the 4 yellow on the other 10 frame. So another way that I could show this would be that I had 6 plus my 4 on the top plus my 4 on the bottom, which equaled 14. So then I see here that if I'm going to add these 2 together, right here, can have my 4 here and my 4 here, which I can make a problem here that would say that 6 plus, because I'm adding that 4 plus 4, which would be 8. All right, here. So 6 plus 8 equals my 14 all together right here. Okay. Again, I would take my 6, I'm adding my 4 yellow at the top and my 4 yellow at the bottom, which equals 14. I'm adding those 4 yellow together, which makes the 8. So I have my 6 red plus my 8 yellow, that equals 14. So these both of these ways right here are showing, both of these ways show of how I got that number. So this number right here is going to be my answer, that 14 minus 6 equals my 8. All right, again, 14 minus 6 equals that 8. So we figured out that 14, again, is our whole. All right, looking at this number right here, this is our whole. All right, and 6 is one of the parts. All right, for the addition equation and the subtraction problem. So 6 is a part here, 6 is a part here. 6 is also a part here. All right, so the other part is the same for the subtraction problem. So when I have 14 minus 6 equals 8, now I know that how I can use this to help me count on and how that can help me subtract. So we're going to go ahead and do a problem together. Let me get that set up. All righty, here's our problem. Emily counts on to find 11 minus 7. She makes 10 while counting. We're going to go ahead and use counters and the 10 frames to help explain what Emily could have done. So I want to think what we're being asked to do. So real quick, before we do start that, I want to make sure that you have your 2 10 frames ready. You have your counters ready, your dry erase marker, whatever you have to help you solve this problem, because this problem, we are going to do it together. The next one, you will do it by yourself. All right. So thinking about this, what are we being asked to do? Yeah, we're being asked to see and explain how Emily would find 11 minus 7. All right, kindergarten. Oh, not kindergarten, first grade, sorry. We are looking to see, again, figure out 11 minus 7. All right, and we're also talking about how making a 10 will help her count on. All right, we're using our counters, and again, we're using our 10s frames. All right, so thinking about this, I want to go ahead and start with writing my problem out. 11 minus 7 equals, we don't know yet. I want to start out by putting my 7 counters. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put my 7 counters, but I'm going to make sure this time that I'm going to color coordinate them to help us out. All right. So I'm going to do these in red. All right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, that's great. So you should have 7 on your 10s frame. All right. Now I have my 7 here, and I need to get to my 10. So I know that 7 plus, my equation is going to be 7 plus blank, because I don't know it yet, equals my 10. So let's count to figure out. It's 7, I need 1, 2, 3 more. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put 3 yellow counters. Separating the colors definitely will help you with the problem and understanding it. All right, so I'm going to do yellow here. Oops. Three. So I figured out that 7 plus 3 plus 3 equals 10. All right. Again, I counted on to figure out that 7 plus 3 equals that 10. All right, so here I know that I'm at 10, and my whole that we know of right here, my whole is 11. So I'm going to add one more of my yellow counters here to make 11. All right, so now I have 11 here. All righty, so I know now that I had 10 at the top plus 1 equals my whole of 11. So 10 plus 1 equals 11. Now I want to ask myself, I need to figure out how many counters were added to 7 to make my 11. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to add those. And I'm going to do that over here. All right, so I have 7 and I added, as you can see at the top of my top 10s frame right here, I added 3. And then I added 1 more down here to make my 11. So now what I'm going to do is I need to figure out and look at my problem right here and figure out my 3 yellow at the top. I want to add it with my 1 at the other 10s frame. So that would make my problem now 7 plus, we make it 7 plus 4, because 3 plus 1 is 4, equals my 11. Let me go ahead and scoot this over. All right, so I brought down my 7. I knew that my 3 on top of my 3 ones on top, my yellow counters on top, and my 1 at the bottom equals 4. So now I have my whole, which is 11. So here I see that I added 4 to my 7, which would equal my whole 11. So I know that my 7, if I took my 11 and I minus 7, I would have my 4. It would be 4. So 11 minus 7 equals 4. So again, since I know that 7 plus 4 equals 11, I want you to think, what is 11 minus 7 then equal to? And that would be your 4. So 11 minus 7 would equal my 4. All right, so real quick, I know that again, that 11 right here is my whole, all right? And that, that 7 right here is one of my parts, all right? In my addition equation here, and in the subtraction problem. So the other part is the same for the subtraction problem. So it would be 11 minus 7 equals 4. And a big thing with that is using that addition. So knowing that if I had 7 and I added 4 more, it's going to be 11. So if you have that addition equation, 7 plus 4, you're going to get 11. So you're taking with subtraction, you're taking that whole to be your first thing in that equation, and you're getting rid of 7. So you know that you're only going to have 4 left, because again, if you took 7 plus the 4, you would get 11. So now you're taking away that 7 and you're going to only have 4 left. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put up an equation for you, first grade, and you're going to go ahead and figure this out on your own now. All right, so here is your equation. 13 minus 9 equals, and we're trying to figure that out. So go ahead and use your 10 spray bit and figure out what 13 minus 9 equals. Remember, we are using that make 10. So we are using addition to help us figure out our problem 13 minus 9. All right, when you are ready, real quick, I want you to pause so you're able to figure out by yourself. And then when you're ready to check your answer to see if you're correct, go ahead and unpause me. And remember, I want you trying to do this. So again, make sure that you are pausing it so you're able to try it on your own so you can get it on your own, which I know all of you definitely can. And if, sometimes if you do make a mistake and you don't get the answer, it's okay. That's why we're doing this. We're practicing it so we can get better at it. All righty. So go ahead and pause it. And then when you're ready, go ahead and push play. All right. So you figured out what 13 minus 9 equals. So what I'm going to go ahead and do first, again, is I'm going to go ahead and make my 9 chip, my 9 red. All right, I'm going to start with that first number. So I'm going to make 9 red. Let me change these to red. Click it. All right, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right. So I have my 9 right here and I need to get to 10. So I'm going to write 9 plus, how many more do I need? I need 1 more. So I'm going to write 9 plus 1 equals my 10. All right, looking at that now, I need to figure out what I need to add on, which I'm going to real quick go ahead and put my yellow counter for my 1 that I added. All right. So now I need to go ahead and figure out how many more I need to get to my whole. Again, my whole is 13. All right. So looking at this, I know I have 10, so I'm going to add some more of my yellow counters on. All right. So 10, then 11, 12, 13. That helped me on because I counted on from 10. So here I see that I added my 10 and I added 3 more, which got me to my 13, to my problem 13. All right. And then I figured out that I had 1 here and 1, 2, 3 on the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and just put that in. So I have 9 red. I have 9 red plus, 9 red plus I have 1, 2, 3, 4 yellow, which equals my 13. So finding that out, I know that if it's switched around, because if it's 13 minus 9, I know that that's going to equal 4 because I already have one of my parts up here. So we figured out that 13 minus 9 equals my 4. Again, because when you take subtraction, like the 13 minus 9 equals 4, all right, you can check it that way, but you can also make your 10, and then you can use that addition to help you with your subtraction. So my 2 parts right here were 9 and 4. I knew there were 9 red and 4 yellow. So if I took 13 away from my 9, I'm only going to have 4 left. So your answer that you got first grade is going to be 13 minus 9 equals 4. All right, right there. Alrighty, first grade, you did an awesome job of continuing to make 10 to subtract and figuring out how addition and subtraction relate to one another. See you guys later.